Welcome to today's video. In today's video, let us see the difference between the old tax regime and the new tax regime. We can basically see the differences under three headings. First being tax slab. The old has 4 tax slabs whereas the new tax regime has 7. The second being cash liquidity, which is less in the old tax regime and more in the new tax regime. Last but not least, savings. There are a lot of options for savings in the old tax regimes under exemptions and deductions, whereas in the new tax regime no such options are available. You can see the various options available as shown on screen. Now let us see the tax rates in detail. We can see that the old tax regime has 4 slabs: 0, 5%, 20% and 30%. Whereas in the new tax regime, you can see that the tax rate is increasing 5% for every 2.5 lakhs until 15 lakhs, and it becomes flat after that. We also have a cess of 4% for both the tax regimes. Now let us see the difference with the example. Assume a person receives 8 lakh per annum package. Under the old tax, he is taxed at 72k. Whereas under new tax regime, he is taxed at 45k, and when the deductions are included, it becomes at 0 tax category. Now let's see one more example where a person receives salary of 16 lakhs. Under the old tax regime, he is taxed 2,32,500 rupees, whereas under the new tax regime, he is taxed at roughly 20,000 less. When you take into consideration deductions and exemptions, we can see that tax is reduced to 82,500, which is a huge saving. Now let us see with a high tax paying example also. A person earning 24 LPA is taxed with 4,72,500 under the old tax regime. Under the new tax regime, he is taxed roughly 20,000 less. But when the deductions and exemptions are included, the old tax regime difference becomes more than 1.5 lakhs. So this is how we can see how beneficial the old tax regime is over the new tax regime. We can see that difference from this overall table too. So basically, if you are a savings oriented person, old tax regime is suitable for you, and if you are a person who wants more cash liquidity at hand, then the new tax regime is for you. Hope this comparison gave you a good understanding between the old and new tax regimes. See you until next time. Don't forget to subscribe.